Going into Southwick, the last time Eli Tomac had raced there, he'd won.
He leaps into the lead. Unbelievable charge, 8th to 1st for Tomac.
Within a lap and a half, he goes by Chase Sexton, Ken Roxon, now Christian Craig.
And this is part of the legend of Eli Tomac. The fans call it beast mode. Oh, there's no doubt. When he gets that beast mode, we haven't seen many people able to fight back, even some of the best of the best. And he's embraced by the fans as Eli Tomac goes 1-1 at Southwick. And in what could be his final visit to this track, he leaves on top.
That is no longer true. And Eli was beaten by not one Lawrence, but two. Jett Lawrence led every lap, notching his 5th overall of the season. And flying in formation behind was big brother Hunter. And then Tomac in tow. In the first moto, the boys were up to their usual hijinks off the gate, with Jett at the point, and the best wingman / big brother in the game, Hunter, right behind. Tomac started outside the top 10, 11th, and had to move his way through the pack. After a similar start to the second, Eli made a power move around Hunter. But shortly later, Hunter returned fire and pulled away from the 4-time champion. Something few men have done, let alone at Southwick. And behind was an ever-changing battle with consistency. Between changing lines, blown-out berms, and the sheer physical toll of racing 30-plus minutes in deep sand, scores took a dive. No one part of the track stood out as the toughest. It was all brutal. For the first time in his first American campaign, 2-time MXGP champ Jorge Prado was in the mix.
Prado drives it in deep. They're side by side. He went off the track to try to get Jett. Jett to the lead again, but Prado is second.
Yeah, it just shows you what that confidence does with Jorge.
But falls in both motos didn't yield the end result his speed promised. At the end of the day, 5-6 scores for his first top 5 finish in the States. Behind Justin Cooper, slotted in with the 6.5 4th overall. Jett Lawrence didn't look like himself this past weekend, but not in the way you might expect. After many races where it appears that he pulls and then manages his lead, lapping just in front of the field, at Southwick, he sprinted away and kept sprinting. His margin of victory tells the story best. After leading the field by as much as half a minute, his finishing margin was 13.8 seconds in Moto 1, 20.2 seconds in Moto 2. For a rider who typically manages a 3 to 5 second cushion throughout a race, Lawrence laid down a statement ride.
Absolute domination for the number 18. And the cherry on the sundae, Lawrence's and Honda going to go 1-2 in both motos.
So now, we're left asking at this point in the season, who's going to challenge Jett? He's yet to lose an overall, and we're nearly halfway through the schedule. Now it's off to Redbud for the biggest holiday race of the season. Redbud Track and Trail in Buchanan, Michigan is the largest race of the year. It falls on the 4th of July celebration weekend, drawing some of the most enthusiastic fans of the series. Jean-micheal, originally from Pennsylvania, had visited Buchanan on a snowmobiling trip. He saw the potential for a great motocross track, and within a few years, he and his partners bought land on the west side of North Redbud Trail and began to build his track. Within a few years, the original partners moved on, and Gene and his wife Nancy relocated to Michigan to become full-time motocross promoters. Redbud began hosting races in 1973. Its first AMA Motocross National followed in 1974. The facility also hosted Trans-AMA races each fall, often featuring battles between the world's best rider at the time, Roger DeCoster, and America's best, Bob Hanna. Located in the beautiful rolling hills of southwestern Michigan, a state with an affinity for off-road recreational vehicle use, Redbud has bragging rights to claim the largest attendance of any U.S. motocross race year after year. With just the right soil mix, a mix that has changed greatly, as Redbud was pretty much a hard-pack track for its first 25 years of existence before massive changes made through truckloads of sand. It has plenty of room for passing and the biggest jump on the circuit, the infamous Larocco's Leap. Redbud is the top motocross destination in a region that loves its motorsports. In the fall of 1991, Team Kawasaki's Mike Larocco went to Tim Ritchie, son of legendary founder Gene, to build a practice track just across the state line at Larocco's home in Indiana. Together, Tim and Mike pieced together a practice track that included a massive 150-foot jump they would dub Calm. After watching Mike huck this mega leap several times, Tim decided he would build a similar jump on his dad's national track. In 1992, Tim brought his own version of Calm to Redbud and enlisted Mike to work out the best angle and distance. At the National that summer, Mike debuted the jump by not just clearing the massive leap, but launching it on his factory Kawasaki KX125. In 1992, this was no small feat. And the spectacular jump quickly acquired a new name. Today, the leap remains the most famous jump in motocross. And even though the run, shape, and length has varied from year to year, its jaw-dropping appeal has remained a constant. The iconic jump's location was actually moved about 80 feet to the south in 2017, as Tim undertook renovations to the track for the next year's Motocross of Nations, allowing space for a large grandstand that now essentially sits on the site of the original loop. The first National at Redbud took place in 1974. Ken Zawahart won the 250 class on a Bultaco, while local motocross star Hadley, Michigan's Mike Hartwig topped the 500 class on a Yamaha. In 1986, Ricky Johnson's first year with Honda, Johnson had what he describes as one of his best battles ever at Redbud.
At Buchanan, Michigan, the opening round of the 500 National Series, Johnson had a birthday. The question was, would old age affect Rick Johnson?
Yeah, age is definitely coming into play. I'm 22 years old now. I got to be mature and ride a little, I guess, act mature. It's going to be tough, but I don't feel any older, so we'll see how it goes in the 500s.
How it went in the first 500 race of the year was not how Johnson planned it. When the dust settled from the start of Moto number 1, it was Team Yamaha's Danny Storbeck from San Antonio, Texas with a hole shot, followed by Honda riders Johnny O'Mara and David Bailey. Behind them came Kawasaki's Ron Lechien and then Rick Johnson. A few laps later, O'Mara, number 3, had the lead with teammate David Bailey in tow. The two front runners pulled away and held on for first and second in the Moto. Third place went to number 4, Team Kawasaki's Jeff Ward from Mission Viejo, California. Rick Johnson, number 5, suffered his worst finish of the 1986 season. The El Cajon native finished 4th. The second Moto turned into a birthday party for Johnson with a surprise present from Honda teammates Bailey and O'Mara. Johnson blew out the candles by quickly moving to the number 1 position. Behind him, O'Mara in third needed only to hold that position for the overall win. But in midair, O'Mara and second place Bailey collided and cut the cake. Bailey got the frosting by quickly getting up to get back in the race. With O'Mara out of contention, the overall win would now go to Bailey, if he could hold second. But no such luck. As Johnson took the checkered flag to the tune of Happy Birthday, Bailey was being passed by Ron Lechien. The overall win and the birthday present went to Johnson.
10 years later, in 1996, Redbud was the side of one of the many Jeremy McGrath, Jeff Emig duels that defined an era.
Jeremy's coming off a couple of hole shots at Southwick, but Emig has to be the hole shot king so far this series.
Both Emig and McGrath off to good starts. It looks like Emig will get the hole shot. Yes, he does. Oh! End over end. Greg Albertine. His bike ran over Phil Lawrence. You see Phil Lawrence down on the track right there. I believe it's someone on the inside that's down. Could be Doug Henry. Ryan Hughes is part of a 7-rider melee here. McGrath hounding Emig for the lead here in the early going of Moto number 1. And Jeremy McGrath gets by Jeff Emig fairly easy.
Well, he does that triple. He came out of the corner. They came out with the same amount of speed, but Jeremy's jumping ability just a little bit better. Got all the way over that triple clean.
Jeremy McGrath on his way to his 12th Moto victory. There has not been an event this year that he hasn't won at least one Moto in. And a tremendous number of sweeps, as you well know. The checkered flag for Jeremy McGrath. How many times have we said that this year? I never get tired of it, really. Jeremy McGrath, Jeff Emig, Brian Swink, a nice job of holding on to third. Mike Larocco up to 4th. So to prove how a well-conditioned body, how durable it can be, McGrath starting right next to Greg Albertine as the gate dropped. And Jeff Emig, another great start. His second hole shot, in fact. Jeremy's start, not all that great. Number 48 is Rich Taylor. Then it's Ward, Lewis, all in front of number 1.
Riding a little bit over your head, maybe, or at least a little bit desperate. Those are the kind of mistakes that you can make.
Lewis doubling, McGrath tripling, and still Lewis comes out in front.
Now Emig is going to get the pit forward if he doesn't already know that Jeremy is coming. That'll make him nervous.
Checking it out, Jeremy McGrath coming over the jump. Larry Ward behind him. It's apparent that Emig really only has about a 5-second lead.
And that's not enough. You need about a 20-second lead with 1 lap to go to really feel sure of anything when you got McGrath behind you. And, you know, Emig has ridden fantastic, but still, Jeremy's just too close. Time remaining.
On the inside, look at Greg Albertine. Bumping Swink. Swink comes right back, retaliates. They both go off the track. In the case of breaking McGrath's streak in St. Louis, it was a matter of just focusing ahead and not losing his concentration. Oh, something's happened to McGrath. McGrath is down. It might have gotten crossed up in the ruts. You can tell how popular Emig is here because the fans erupted.
Now the fans love it. Here comes Mike Larocco on the outside. Boy, he's got a wounded Jeremy McGrath right in front of him, and he might just go after him. It's so tough to recover as soon as you get up. Now he's got Larocco breathing down his neck.
Mike Larocco, this is his home track. He smells a second-place finish.
I'll talk about the fans getting excited for Emig. They're even more excited now. Their hometown boy LaRocco moving around McGrath. McGrath going for it.
This will be a spirited duel. Oh, LaRocco with the speed on the corners. But what will happen during the jumps? That's the big question.
Usually coming into that corner right there, Jeremy's already made the pass. There it is, LaRocco's leap. He better leap. Jeremy over the top of his head.
LaRocco doubling. McGrath tripling. Jeremy's just fighting all he can, making new lines, but LaRocco is holding on to second place.
And he drifted a little wide right there. Jeremy is just ready to take it away from him. If LaRocco makes any mistakes, leaves the door even partially open, Jeremy's going to take.
Just listen to the crowd. Oh, what a finishing lap this has been. Emig the checkered flag. Here's LaRocco. Then Jeremy McGrath, all within 2 seconds of one another. Jeff Emig winning his first moto, breaking the string once again, and the rivalry lives on.
Emig's win was his first moto victory of the season, breaking in McGrath's stream of victories for the second time in 1996. It was a turning point for the season. Jeremy would soon injure himself, attempting to turn 2 jumps at Millville into an unlikely double. And Fro would close a 40-point deficit and eventually prevail for his first 250 championship later that year. As a footnote, despite being the local favorite and namesake of its signature jump, Mike LaRocco never won an overall at Redbud. Another 10 years, and it was the era of rookie Carmichael dominance. Carmichael captured 7 consecutive wins in the 450 class at Redbud on 3 different brands of motorcycles: Kawasaki, Honda, and Suzuki. In 2016, yet a decade more down the road, Gene Ritchie passed away in February at age 79. Redbud is currently run by 2 of Gene and Nancy's children, Amy and Tim Ritchie. Ken Roczen outraced Eli Tomac for the victory that year and left the facility with a 53-point lead, a full race ahead of the field, on his way to the 450 title.
Down by Justin Bogle, and then out of nowhere, watch Justin Barsha on the 51, almost gets the whole shot away from Bogle. Would not take long for Barsha to take the lead, but here comes Roczen around the outside.
Yeah, he wasted no time getting in the front. Roczen has just been flawless in the opening laps of motos. Takes the lead. Now it's for everyone else to try and catch him.
Barsha running his best race of the year by far. Spent a lot of this moto dicing with Eli Tomac for second. Finally, Tomac's going to find an opening around the outside.
Beautiful line selection. Gets on the rear wheel, gets a power to the ground, puts him on the inside for the next turn. He'll take that spot from Barsha.
But then a little trouble for Tomac. He was about 15 seconds behind Roczen, so not really threatening him, but had a little more drama than he probably wanted even to bring it home. Stalls the bike.
Yeah, just a simple little mistake there. Too hard on the rear brake while the rear wheel was in the air. Tomac trying to kick it. Fortunately, gets it started, but not before Ken Roczen checked out, takes the win.
Tomac, here's a Lucas Oil race recap. Tomac had his opportunity going for the lead here with Justin Bogle.
Yeah, he gets the lead. Great drive out of that corner. Incredible drive, actually. Takes the lead, and we thought, okay, we're set up for a massive duel between the top 2 riders in our sport. Ken Roczen triples, takes the lead. You heard Tomac say that may have been one of the key points to losing this race.
Yeah, once Roczen had it, we thought Tomac might be able to hang with him like he did last week, but no, sir, not this time. Roczen just unstoppable today, and he goes 1-1. Pretty much the same thing in both motos.
Though bested by Roczen in his first 450 race at Redbud, Eli would go on to win in Michigan 3 times. First, in 2017.
Then Tomac put in his fastest lap of the entire race on the last lap to hold on and take the win. So the first one-on-one showdown in a while, and that puts Tomac in the lead. And these fans cheered him the whole way. So he gives them a salute over the famous LaRocco's leap, 120-foot triple jump at the end, and it goes on to sweep the day.
Again in 2019.
And here's Tomac, headed for daylight, last lap over LaRocco's leap. Little mistake there, no problem. And he collects his 40th career moto win. That is a lot.
And a hugely popular win in 2022.
Getting that big number 3 out front early is bad news for everybody else. Looking for running room down the inside. He sent it, couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, he did. Got to be patient. Still a lot of racing left. I know you want to get by Kenny.
Well, now he's on the inside. I don't know if he can jump the lead from here.
Oh, he's going to cut him off.
Wow. Well, that was creative. Sexton is close from 11 seconds back to 7.7. Clearly, Tomac was backing down a little bit. Didn't even do the lead the previous lap. We'll see if he does it for the fans this time. Another cool thing about this renaissance season for Tomac, winning the Monster Energy Supercross title and now winning races outdoors. Oh, he's setting up for the lead for sure. Yeah. Oh, a little style too. Yeah, giving the fans what they want. And that's the other cool thing. The fans have really come to appreciate him at a whole new level this year as well. And he gives them something to cheer for here. Eli Tomac wins Moto 1 at Redbud. Here's Moto 2. Tomac shoots out of the center of the gate just like he did in Moto 1 for Eli Tomac, the 29-year-old out of Cortez, Colorado, looking for his second straight race victory, and he did it the way he always does it. The final half of the race, his strength, his fitness unmatched, and he salutes the fans with a one-hander over the 120-foot Larocco's leap. It's going to be a 1-1 sweep for ET3. Lucas Oil finish line. Dominant run to win Redbud for Eli Tomac.
2 years ago was Redbud's 50th anniversary on the national circuit. Jett Lawrence, as he had and would all season, swept both motos and left with over 50 points in hand on the competition.
But they continue to chase the number 18 Jett Lawrence, who is undefeated on a 450. Can he keep it going? Revs are up at Redbud and the gate is down. And about a quarter of a lap to go. One more time. Larocco's lead for Jett, throwing it down.
Again, just like the previous 6 motos, nobody keeping him up. 8 motos.
8 motos. Another checkered flag Moto 1 win at Redbud for Jett Lawrence. 9-0 in his full-time 450 career. We're going to see a rematch, see if Sexton can get a better start. Lawrence has been pretty much aces on most of the starts this year. He did have to fight for it at our last race at High Point and showed he can overcome some adversity as well. Final race of the day. Fly racing 30-second cut is sideways. Revs are up at Redbud. Gates down. Jett got a good jump. He's going to control it. It's Plessinger on his right. Too far outside. And Master pulls with Jett again. This guy's able to cruise it home again. We are looking at 10-0 and still undefeated on a 450. The 19-year-old from Australia absolutely taking control of this sport. Jett Lawrence sweeps it at Redbud.
And then last year, Chase Sexton won in the absence of Lawrence, with Jett having had his season ended prematurely with a practice track injury.
Sexton did not get a good jump. That is Hunter Lawrence around the outside. And he has the motosport.com whole shot. Hunter Lawrence on the 96. He is a rookie in the 450 class. Last year's 250 class champion. Now
Well, there was so much talk this week and wondering how would these riders respond to the absence of Jett Lawrence. And for Chase Sexton, he's doing exactly what I thought he should do, which is gain an air of confidence, gain an air of calm, with the understanding that he now could be considered the best rider in the class.
Oh, Hunter Lawrence goes for a ride and down hard on the downhill. Sexton is taking the lead. Can he get back up and recover? Now, a lot of these riders are the riders they had already lapped. The question is how many positions on the actual racetrack lead lap has he lost? Because that will affect the championship standings. And how quickly can he recover physically from that hit? And Hunter's going to have to go into recovery mode later. But right now, he's got to focus on this final lap.
I really hate that for Hunter Lawrence. I mean, you think about it, just riding an absolutely perfect race.
He did it! Chase Sexton takes the Moto win. That was clutch down the stretch. Time today at Redbud. Revs are up. Gates down. Sexton is side by side with Anderson. And on the inside now, RC. Oh, just able to get the bike in the line.
That was close. Bike went sideways, but he pulled it off.
So Sexton in position for the 1-1 now.
He is leaving no doubt who he wants this alpha to be. You see the one-hander of Larocco's leap. I was looking for a ride like this from him. Show the confidence you have in this moment, and it's here.
Yep.
Chase Sexton sweeps Redbud in his attempts to take control of 450 motocross.
Now, it's Chase who has been out with the mysterious injuries and set to return to the gate. In the continued battle behind Jett, where will Sexton slot in? Can he be the first to take away the win from Lawrence? Well, first, he'd have to beat both of them. And he's going to find that in even taller order than it was before. As in, when does Hunter finally get his? If it weren't for his pesky brother, he'd be locked in a neck-and-neck battle with the four-time champ Eli Tomac, and likely have multiple overall wins. Instead, Hunter is still searching for his first overall, even after putting together one of his best performances of the season, with a median lap time 1.4 seconds better than Tomac's. Sure, Jett was another 1.2 seconds faster than Hunter. But still, Hunter is all too quietly having a stellar sophomore season, and could rightly be considered the number one contender, not named Jett. Living in his little brother's shadow might be discouraging, but make no mistake, Big Brother is a bad man in his own right. Eli Tomac's best chance for a win has come and gone, which is not to say he can't do it elsewhere. But with Jett now 20 for 21 in 450 outdoor races won, and already tied with one James Stewart for 8th all-time on the wins list. Well, Jett is just 5 races back from ACL surgery, and just a few days removed from his most dominating win ever. He's only going to get better. Hell, he won't even turn 21 until August. He's not lost but one race, and that included a vicious impact in a crash. He's only not lost but 6 motos, and only 2 of those were off the podium. He's not qualified on the pole with the fastest qualifying lap time, only 5 times. And in 4 of those, he was second. He may have dropped a couple of motos from outright perfection, but much like his 2023 debut, it seems like the only rider who can beat Jett is Jett.
How much is it going to take to beat Jett?
Yeah, I think that's the very, very popular question on everyone's mind.
Well, they were just good today, so it's it was tough out there. Like I said, they rode really well on this track, and of course I love this place too. I tried to have as much as fun as I could, but of course Southwick, so it's a gnarly track to race on, and yeah, just didn't quite have that pace, and that's all I can really say. So got beat. Try to get better next time.